Welcome all of you to the chemistry online classes. So in our last class we have discussed so many important concepts. So in today's class we want to discuss one more problem. Okay, we want to discuss one more problem and one more concept. So almost we are in the finishing touch of the chapter. Two more few important concepts left that we will discuss. So already you know, according to the line spectrum of the hydrogen, there we calculated the energy and there we calculated transition occurs from a higher energy level to the lower energy level, and there are different types of the series are there, like Lyman series, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, Fund, so many series like that. So in last class even we have studied regarding, even we have discussed a few of the problems. In today's class I want to give you one more problem where the transition will going to be takes place. It means the electron transits, it will going to travel from one energy level to the another energy level. During that time what type of the questions they are going to ask you in the numericals and what you need to apply there. So let us start the problem. So already we know that delta E is equals to 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 joules into bracket 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square formula. We know that. It means the n1 can also be replaced by ni. It means initial, and then nf, n2 can be replaced by the nf, that is final. Okay, energy levels as you know, n is equals to 1, n is equals to 2 and so on. So where instead of n1 and n2 in your NCERT they took ni and nf. The simple, ni is nothing but initial, nf is nothing but final. So even you can take here n1 and n2, no problem, clear. So let us say here delta E is equals to 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 joules into bracket 1 by ni square minus 1 by nf square. So this is the formula, and then in case of the absorption spectrum, nf is greater than ni. Absorption spectrum, an atom absorbs energy and it jumps. If there is an absorption spectrum, nf is greater than ni. Suppose if it is a emission spectrum, ni is greater than nf, ni is greater than nf. So these are the conditions are there for the emission as well as the absorption spectrum. So the question is that what are the frequency and wavelength of a photon emitted? It means emission. It means emission. So here during a transition from n is equals to 5 to n is equals to 2 level, 2 state in the hydrogen atom. Simple. There is a transition occurs from n is equals to 5 level to n is equals to 2. There is a transition occurs from n is equals to 5 level to n is equals to 2 level. So during this time there is a emission of a photon. There is a emission of the photon. As you know, when the electron gains the energy, it can able to jump from lower energy level to the higher energy level. When it is coming back, from higher energy level to the lower energy level, it emits the energy. So here it is emitted. There is a photon emission will going to be takes place when the transition occurs from n is equals to 5 level to n is equals to 2 level. So here that photons frequency and wavelength we need to calculate. So ಏನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳೋಣಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ದಿಂದ ಲೋವರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಆದಾಗ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನು ಎಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ಆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫೋಟಾನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಒಳಗೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗತೈತಿ, ಹೈಯರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ 5 ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು 2ಗೆ ಏನಾಗತೈತ್ರಿ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಜಂಪ್ ಆಗಕತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಜಂಪ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಮಿಟ್ ಆಗೈತಿ, ಫೋಟಾನ್ ಎಮಿಟ್ ಆಗೈತಿ. ಆ ಫೋಟಾನ್ದ ವೇವ್ಲೆಂತ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ರೀ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಷನ್. ಸೊ n is equals to 5 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಏನು ತಗೋಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ni is equals to 5. You can take ni is equals to 5 and nf final is 2. And then what they have asked, frequency nu, and what they have asked, wavelength lambda. So if we know the energy, then only we can able to find out the frequency. If we know the frequency, then we can able to find out the wavelength. So let us discuss first, or let us calculate first energy. So we have the formula delta E is equals to 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 into bracket 1 by n1 square, ni square. Okay, ni is nothing but here 5, 1 by 5 square minus 1 by 2 square. Calculate this one, you are going to get around minus 4.58 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. So 1 by 5 square as well as 1 by 2 square, you can simplify that and you can apply this formula. If you calculate that, you are going to get an answer around minus 4.58 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. So next we need to find out the frequency. Frequency nu is equals to E by H, that is delta E by H. So delta E value already we know that, and this minus sign indicates what? This minus sign indicates what? It is a emission spectrum. So it is a emission spectrum. If it is positive, it indicates it is a absorption spectrum. See here, emission, photon is emitted. So when the photon is emitted, there must be Ni should be greater than Nf. Ni is 5, Nf is 2. So Ni is greater than Nf, and this minus sign indicates only the thing, it is a emission spectrum. If it is positive, it is a absorption spectrum. So frequency we need to calculate. Frequency delta E is equals to frequency nu is equals to delta E by H. So here minus sign I am not going to take, it indicates only it is absorption or emission. So you can divide it by H value 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34. Okay, and if you simplify this, you are going to get an answer of 6.91 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. Okay. Frequency, if you calculated by substituting the values, if you simplify that, you are going to get the answer at an around 6.91 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. So let us discuss about the wavelength. So here wavelength lambda is equals to C by nu. Nu is the frequency. So wavelength lambda is equals to C by nu. You can substitute the value. C is 3 into 10 to the power 8, as you know, it is the velocity of the light. You can substitute that, and then frequency already you have calculated 6.91 into 10 to the power 14. Okay. If you simplify this values, you are going to get the answer at an around 344 nanometer. 344 nanometer. So simple. The question is, you need to find out a photon's frequency and wavelength. So when that photon is emitted, when there is a transition occurs from n is equals to 5 to n is equals to 2. Okay. And now as it is an emission spectrum, Ni value is 5, because from 5 to 2, you can take Ni value as a 5, Nf value as a 2. You need to calculate frequency, you need to calculate the wavelength. So frequency, directly we know the formula that frequency is equals to E by H, because we know that delta E is equals to H nu, yes or no? I need to calculate nu means delta E by H only formula, but delta E I do not know, so I need to calculate it. They have given Ni and Nf value. By using that, I can able to find out delta E value. So 2.18 into 10 to the power 18 into bracket 1 by 5 square minus 1 by 2 square. And before writing this step, you can write one more step, that is formula, that is delta E is equals to 2.18 into 10 to the power 18 into bracket 1 by Ni square minus 1 by Nf square. Okay, first you can substitute, you can write this formula, then you can go for the substitution, because formula always carries the 1 mark. Then here I have substituted the value and I have calculated it will be around 4.58 into 10 to the power 19, and this frequency is equals to E by H. Already we know the value of E, so you can substitute that value of E, and then you can even substitute the value of the H, which is already you know Planck's constant, and then if you calculated that or if you simplified that, means you are going to get an answer of 6.91 into 10 to the power 14 Hertz. Clear? So this is the frequency we have calculated. So next one more thing is, then they asked you to calculate the wavelength. They asked you to calculate the wavelength. So wavelength formula lambda is equals to C by nu, that is frequency, and then C value already we know 3 into 10 to the power 8, and nu value we have calculated. So if you simplify those two values, you are going to get an answer around 434 nanometer. Okay, I hope so. This problem is clear for you people. Okay, there is a transition n is equals to phi, just take the values, relevant values, and substitute, use the relevant formulae, you can going to get the answer. And while mentioning the answer, please mention the its unit, because unit is also very important. So let us discuss one more important concept, that is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So what is this principle, what it states? Okay, see here, it states that it is impossible to determine simultaneously the exact position and momentum or velocity of an electron. Okay. Suppose electron is there, means we cannot able to find exactly, that is simultaneously, at the same time we cannot able to find out its position and its velocity. Velocity and position we cannot able to find out simultaneously, it is impossible. That is only the concept given by the Heisenberg uncertain. It is uncertain, we cannot able to predict exactly. So this is the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. What is the principle? It states that it is impossible to determine simultaneously. It is impossible to determine simultaneously. What simultaneously? The exact position and momentum of the electron. Momentum also can be replaced by the term velocity. We cannot able to find out the exact position and exact momentum of an electron simultaneously. So this is the statement. Many times they are going to ask you directly, state Heisenberg uncertainty principle and write its mathematical formula. So the mathematical formula, delta x into delta p, which is greater than or equals to h upon 4 pi. So here P is nothing but momentum. Momentum is always a product of the mass and velocity. So delta x keep as it is into delta P means the product of m and v, which is greater than or equals to h upon 4 pi. Then what about delta x? Delta x is the uncertainty in position, where delta P is uncertainty in momentum. So that is mathematically given as delta x into delta P, which is greater than or equals to h upon 4 pi. H is already Planck's constant. So the question is that state the Heisenberg uncertainty principle and write its mathematical expression, and sometimes write the mathematical form of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, and you can explain the terms. During that time you need to write what is delta x and what is delta P and what is h. And in some problems this also very important, you need to know that is momentum P is equals to the product of the m and v. So, let us discuss one of the problem which is based on this principle. So, the principle states it is impossible to determine simultaneously. It means at the same time we cannot able to find or we cannot able to determine the position where the electron is situated, that position and velocity we cannot able to find out simultaneously. That is what the principle given by the scientist Heisenberg. That is why it is given, the name is given as Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So, let us discuss one of the problem based on this one. If the uncertainty in the measurement of the momentum of the particle is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 2 kg meter per second. Calculate uncertainty in its position. So, they have given uncertainty, that is position delta p. See here, uncertainty in momentum, that is uncertainty in momentum means a delta p, and its value they have given 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 2 kg meter per second. Okay. And the question is, you need to find out delta x, that is uncertainty, calculate the uncertainty in its position, delta x you need to find out. So, from Heisenberg uncertainty principle, we have delta x into delta p is equals to h upon 4 pi. Okay. And then I need to calculate delta x. So, separate out the term delta x h upon 4 pi into delta x. So, we already know the value 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 h value, and 4 and pi value is 3.142, that is 22 by 7, and delta, sorry, this one must be delta p. Okay. And delta p they have given, that is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 2. So, if you simplify this, it will be around 7.96 into 10 to the power minus 34 meter. Okay, simple. The question is that they have given, if the uncertainty in the measurement of the momentum of a particle is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 2, it means the delta p value is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 2 kg meter per second. And the question, we need to find out delta x. So, whenever uncertainty term is given, just you think this formula delta x into delta p, which is greater than or equals to h upon 4 pi, where delta x is uncertainty in position, delta p is uncertainty in momentum. So, here delta p is given, they have asked delta x. So, from the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, we know that delta x into delta p equals to h upon 4 pi. And here I need to calculate delta x, I have separated out the delta x term, and then keep h as it is divided by 4 pi, and here delta p is multiplication, it will go for the division, that is denominator. Okay. And then substitute all the values, h value that is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34, and then divided by 4 as it is, pi value is 3.142, that is 22 by 7, and then delta p value they have given, that is around 6.62 into 10 to the power minus 2. If you simplify, it will be around 7.96 into 10 to the power minus 34 meter. So, this is how you need to calculate the value, what is the delta x value. Sometimes they will give you mass and they will even ask you velocity and everything. So, that you may even need to know delta p is equals to delta into m into v. So, I hope so this problem is clear for you people, and even this concept is also clear for you people. If you are not getting anything, you can contact me, or else you can watch the video one more time and you try to solve few more examples, so you can understand the problems very well. In our next class, we are going to discuss few more important concepts. Until that, keep watching the video. Thank you.